Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of RevTalks. Today we're joined with Zachary, the founder over at Clarity AI. How are you doing today, Zachary?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I appreciate you asking. I know we went back and forth a little bit before the recording about the actual software and what you guys are building. Tell the audience what you guys are assembling over here in the space.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. So it's called Clarity Sidekick, and there's actually quite a bit to it. So at its heart, it's kind of, I guess you could call it an AI assistant, but it really does so much more than that. And it really has a couple components. So it has a chat function, like you would normally use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. Definitely does all of that, but it takes it a couple of steps further because now it has deep memory. So we have 11 types of memory, and we're also adding some more types of memory. It also knows current state, which is very important so it can make decisions and kind of help you decide what to do next. And then another unique thing is it's API callable. So right now, if you have GPT or something, there's no way to use your memories for like an agent or a tool you build. But with this, you can actually just make an API call to either your memories or your governed LLM, and you can access it directly. And so that's not only important for people like myself who are like kind of a power user, a founder, but also people in the development space. So everybody who's building agents right now, the biggest problem that I'm hearing is it's hard to get governance, it's hard to get good memory. It's all over the place. And so having a consistent structured memory and governed model that you can call via API call, especially one that you can customize to your own use. I mean, to me, that's really what the market needs right now, and it's just not out there.
Absolutely. And what is the actual target market for this actual implementation? I've seen obviously you're in competition with a lot of people in a lot of different areas of business. Who are you guys mainly targeting?
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. It really actually can work for just about anybody, whether you're a soccer mom at home, it kind of helps you stay organized, helps kind of be your virtual sidekick, your virtual chief of staff for the house. So it can be something as simple as that. I what I'm already seeing is a lot of small business owners. That's the biggest one, founders and small business owners, because man, it's so chaotic. Like I've been doing this about 2 years now, and it's so hard to keep things organized as a small business. There's so many hats you have to wear as a small business owner. And so, my biggest goal is just to reduce cognitive overload. So empty out your brain at the end of the day. Get somebody to help you manage all of that stuff that is on your to-do list and in your head. So yeah, I'd say probably the small business right now is our target, but also, like I said, the developers. I've had a ton of developers reaching out that are super excited about this because they really want to start building better agents. And you've heard all kinds of stories about how OpenClaw wiped your hard drive, or somebody got their password hacked in Instagram with the bot or something. So that's the kind of stuff that my company is looking to fix and to avoid in the first place.
Okay.
So
And speaking of developers, I know you did mention too briefly, are you guys building this sort of in-house with a team or an outsourced team, or is this you? Who is actually building the software?
yeah. So I'm the chief architect. I've designed the whole system myself. I do a little bit of development with it as well. And then I have two full-time developers here in the US. And then we've done a little bit of contracting for some other things outside of Clarity directly, but everything with Clarity Sidekick is US developed, it's US hosted. We use only US frontier models. So we have a big focus on privacy and security and, just kind of doing things the right way with quality components.
Definitely, definitely. And are you guys currently building to the actual software right now and continuously adding on more features to it, given requests from customers? Or are you guys kind of in more of like the marketing phase to where you're wanting to go on podcast events like this and sort of get the word out? Or what's kind of more of a initiative for you guys?
Yeah, so actually, we've been building this about 8 months now, which is a really long build because it's very complex to get this stuff all working correctly, as you can imagine, when you have 11 different memory types and all these moving parts. So we are about a week out from beta testing. So we actually haven't launched nationally yet, but it's coming very, very soon. And honestly, I just want to make sure that it's absolutely as good as it can be when we're ready to launch. And also, we're doing apps as well. So Sidekick will have an app in both the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. So we wanted to make sure that the apps were ready at the same time as we launch the web app. That way, everybody can access it no matter where they're at. So that's where we're at with it right now.
Do you guys have an existing list, maybe contacts of people that are pre-registered or maybe people that have actually signed up? or are you guys straight going to the market with it whenever you actually launch the product itself?
Yeah, so both really. We've had beta sign up now on our website for probably a month or so now. So we've gotten a lot of interest there. And then also, I get a ton of interest on LinkedIn. A lot of people reach out to me. I'm pretty active in LinkedIn space, not super active in a lot of the other social medias, but it seems like that's kind of where all the developers and tech guys and AI people and like yourself hang out. So yeah, I mean, that's been the real interest is them reaching out directly, reading my posts and things like that. It's not. I try to avoid like ad type stuff posts for my personal account. I really just want to let them know what I'm building and like how I'm building it, what I'm thinking about, like because the AI space is so new. It's like the wild, wild west. I know we're in the space every day, so we think, oh, it's already saturated, but the reality of it is, I mean, AI is just now coming into its infancy. I mean, there's so much more AI is going to be able to do. So, taking the opportunity to talk to anybody who's interested, is kind of what I've been working on.
Absolutely. And I know there's a lot of different email platforms too that help get the word out. One platform that we utilize really heavily is called SendX. They're really good with segmentation and analytics. I don't know if you guys have actually heard of them, but a lot of
Yeah.
SaaS companies use them for the actual email list because obviously that's like the actual, from what I've heard, it's like the blood of SaaS companies is having profitable email list, people to get continuous updates, products, building lists, things like that. Very, very, very crucial to add in users, increase MRR because we didn't talk about it just yet, but I assume the way you guys actually deliver services is pretty streamlined. Obviously, it's software. Are you guys charging like per use, per usage, per contact, per sort of like another initiative, or is it kind of like an upfront monthly type of thing?
Yeah, so for regular chat type service and whatever agents that we currently have, that's a monthly flat rate service. And then for API calls, if you want to use the API function, that's a per API call cost. Or, obviously some of the packages come with a certain amount of API calls included. So
And
it
where
just
does
kind of
that
depends
start
on.
in terms of price point? Where does it actually start at, just so the audience get a better understanding?
Yeah, yeah. So for general chat, 29.99 is going to be the founder launch price. It'll jump up to 39.99 after that, and that basically gets you full chat ability. So right now we can actually use any LLM model. Right now we happen to be using Claude, but we also have several others. One of the cool things about how we built it is we can actually swap models. You can actually swap models mid conversation, like not even just the model, but the model family. So you could switch from Claude to GPT in the middle of a conversation. So you could say, if you wanted a second opinion on something, it's super easy. You just click the drop down, and the other model is telling you his opinion, which will be completely
That's
different, of
cool.
course.
Call in Big Brother or other family tree.
Exactly, exactly. Yep. And that was exactly the intention because, I mean, sometimes you figure out halfway through a project that you're kind of a little more knee deep than you thought you were going to be, and you need some little bit better advice. So definitely
Absolutely.
the multimodal is definitely where it's at. And then we made it so we can actually swap parts out too. So like we just had a problem with our voice chat, so we were easily able to dump our voice chat vendor and switch vendors.
Nice.
So the way we built the platform, it's just super easy to swap out parts and pieces. You know.
Nice. That's always good to keep it mobile, make sure things are still running. And if something does go down, there's obviously other options in marketplaces, only expanding by the day, as you're aware, and everything like that. What's kind of a main focus right now? What's kind of a main goal? So what you guys are really looking towards with the actual software?
Yeah, so right now, definitely beta launch. Like I said, it's about a week away. So just getting everything polished up for that, searching for bugs. And also the memory, man. Like I maybe your listeners may not realize the complexity of actually how hard it is for an AI to manage memory. You're both writing memory and you're also pulling memory. And sometimes that's in even the same token exchange. And so the complexity behind that, the model has to figure out your intent. It has to put all the pieces together as to pull in context packs. I mean, it's a very complicated process, and it's very easy to accidentally duplicate a memory or put in the wrong memory. So the complexity behind that is pretty extreme. So just getting that perfectly dialed in, that's really been our focus for the last probably week or so. Because, like I said, we have 11 different memory types right now. We're adding more. So, I think that definitely gives us a unique memory structure, but at the same time, it also adds a lot of complexity, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And I assume your background is in obviously software engineering and software development. Is that correct or no?
Actually, not exactly, no. So I spent 23 years at AT&T, started out in sales actually, and just I basically ended up in sales leadership. And I basically was ended up giving our tech teams, our IT teams, so much feedback about the software that we were using in the stores that they were basically like, "Why don't you just come up to headquarters and help us help you?" you know. So I went up there and was able to help them quite a bit with that. And then eventually I became a technical program manager. So any of the big initiatives, the technology initiatives that rolled out in the eastern half of the United States at any of the AT&T stores, I was in charge of overseeing those and leading them. So it was a pretty big job. There was a lot of moving parts to it, as you can imagine, with a company that size.
Absolutely. And definitely making sure everything's in line and intricacies of making sure data's in certain areas. And then obviously whenever you're building and utilizing these models, especially for memory, it goes
Yeah.
even deeper than that and everything. Where exactly on the internet can we find you? What is the company website? And then what is your LinkedIn do for the audience?
Yeah, so claritysidekick.com, pretty easy, and we're on all the social media platforms as well. Same handle, claritysidekick.com. If you Google us, we're the first like 10 results. So we're pretty easy to find, just Clarity Sidekick.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate your time here today, Zachary, on RevTalks. Hope you have a
Yeah,
rest of your morning as well.
yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.